G'day everyone, Kevin here again from Sully's Rods and Customs. As you can see, I got the beast up on some car stands now. Got to start getting underneath it and start checking all the bolts and make sure everything's tight and ready to run. I've just been playing around with the dash wiring and the aircon wiring. I'll just show you what I've actually been up to. So as you can see here, as you can see there, that's the vintage air controller mounted in the dash. It's very close to a perfect fit. It's actually too small to fit in on the face, so I had to mount it deep. It's mounted into the it's mounted up against the aluminium back support for all the gauges and everything. Yeah, but it works. So I'll just run you through a bit of a demo here of what's going on. Squeeze into the car, get the light here. So as you can see, we got brake and generator. Car hasn't started running yet, so we'll just work on what we got for now. So there's the vintage air controller. You have the off and cold. That just changes the actual, you can hear it turn on the relay. And then you can vary the temperature on this slide here. Hopefully I can get a bit of a better look at that. And I'll get a little torch out. It's got in my pocket, it's probably still turned on. Yep. So as you can see here, if I slide this lever to off or to warmer, what that does is it operates a little valve. I'll see if I can get a shut up if we say that valve there. It's like a little servo valve. Try from the other side. It's right up under the dash under there. So you can see that comes from the back of this controller. So as you slide this back and forward, once it's running, it actually opens that valve that's off in that position. It'll open it more the hotter you get, so the more it opens the valve. This one here is your air conditioning on, so you just turn the aircon on and it will start running. And if you want the aircon to run in warm, you can run this valve across to warm. You can off or just run aircon cold. The aircon system's not pre-charged yet with the proper gas. So I'll give you a bit of a demo. So I'll just leave it off. It's not going to actually turn on because the engine's not running. So if I flick this switch to low, you can hear the fan running. And because it's in demist position, the air is running out of these demister vents. I'm not sure, you probably can't hear it or makes any difference there, but trust me, if I feel it there, I can feel the air coming out of those demister vents. If I move it to face, these are off, now they're moving. You hear that damper open then, now they're blowing air out of these two. These are going to be the two air conditioning ducts. They're just temporarily taped there now until I get the dash pad. Once the dash pad comes, I'll pop them on the back of it. What else we got here? So then when I go to feet, it shuts off these top ones and it just blows down here from underneath. You can see that bit of paper blowing there. It just blows from underneath here. So you got to make sure your carpet's tucked right up there. The only problem with that is it only blows air to the feet for the passenger. There's no way of getting the air to your feet across that hump and over to the driver. So the driver's the one that needs it the most. So I'm not sure what they were thinking about that. Maybe it's just to warm the base of the cab up or something if it was in a hot rod maybe. Either way, that's a bit of a sketchy thing. Or then you can see this last position here, it's like a dual position, so it'll do face and feet. So you can see down there the fan's still blowing that paper, so it's still going to feet. and it's also blowing out of this vent here now to blow cold air at your face out of these two vents. So it was really tricky to put in and install. I mean, it's got off, low, medium and high. I mean, that's flat out, you can see that paper, and that's on dual vents, that's on face here, that's on face and on the floor, so you can see how much air that's moving down just to that floor area there, blowing that paper around. So that's pretty good. Yeah, so that's what we got. I won't be able to test all the other motions of it. I know the servos inside that condenser are actually working. This is pumping heaps of air out of the top vents here now. So that that vent that I modified. All right, shut up. They've heard that. That vent that I modified for with the duct, you can see there, that's the bottom of that whale tail sort of piece I was talking about. We'll get something to point to it with. I can't reach it. Might be fat handle getting in the way. So that item there, you can see on the back of it, I got a screw right there, and there's a blanking plate in the back, and behind that there's a duct attached to it. I'll go to the other side and I'll show you what's under the dash on the opposite side of the car. Just walk around here. Don't want to climb the console, I'll probably break it. Alright, so under the dash you can see there's these two main ducts connected here. I'm not sure if you can actually see it, but right there is an open duct. I've got to cap that off, and there's one at the back over there too, if you can see it. Right over the back there's two I've got to cap off. So they give you 3 vents for the face. I only need 2 these ones because I can't get air to the driver's side. I can't get air past all the hump and past the steering column and footwell bracket, the brake pedal brackets. So I've just got air coming out of these 2. So this one here will be for the passenger. This one here will be for the driver. So you'll be able to turn the vent and blow towards the driver's face. And the driver has the option of external air or external vent on his side as well. So yeah, so one issue I had as well is this hose here kept kinking. So initially you can see that grommet. Pull the carpet back. You see that grommet down there. I pulled all this insulation back, but that grommet down there is where this hose used to hang out. But if this hose hangs out down there, it pulls the carpet forward, and if you pull the carpet forward, then the air for the feet blows under the carpet and it doesn't blow into the car. So I've got to reroute this hose. It's got to stay downhill all the way because this condenser, it will get some water in it. So, and this is the low point on it, and the bottom of it's sump. So this hose has to kind of run downhill all the way. So somehow I've got to get this hose from here, and I'm thinking somehow I'm going to have to go across here and sort of straight through the back of the firewall and just drain out the front of the firewall. So on the engine side, that will be just down there where that black is, just at the side of that body mount there. Jesus, dusty down there, but right at the side of that body mount down there. Oops, that's where that hose will come out. So I can't let it drip on the exhaust. I have to let it drip out of there and under the car like modern cars do. And I don't want to bring it out through the orange paint. So that's my next little thing I've got to do. Now the air conditioner's all connected up, everything's working. Got to blank off two ports in the back there. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can actually see on what I was talking about, but you can see one under that right hand hose, and you can just see one right at the back You can see it. I know it's there. Got a couple of grounds. There's one ground here and one ground here. I've got to take them off and rerun them somewhere better, because the dash glove box lid has to fit on here. This car won't have a glove box. There's nothing, you can't fit anything inside because of the air conditioner unit, and the ducts will be in behind it here. Plus you can see up here, because this is made for an American car, the water and all the compressor or refrigerant fittings all come out of this left hand side of it. So with it coming out the left hand side, you can't plumb it straight at the side here, straight out this side, because the you can with the heater and stuff, I suppose, but then you see hoses visible in the engine bay. And like I mentioned before, trying to hide everything, you can see those hoses run across the top of the engine, and they exit the engine bay through those two grommets down there at the back of the firewall. So pretty neat, I think. The only way I can really hide them. That's probably the neatest bit we can conquer with it. I'll tell you another problem you'll have with vintage air that you've got to get over as well. So the size of the ductwork, I can't remember what size it says. I think it says it's like 2 1/4 inch or something. Anyway, so one of the issues you have is this size duct here doesn't fit. This is a standard vent for a HQ. The actual vent opening in the front there, it has the grill bit that you turn around to change the speed or change the airflow direction. But it pushes into this adapter, and this adapter, as you can see, is massive compared to the actual duct. So what I did was measured it up, went to Bunnings. This is a plumbing fitting. What size does this say? So for those that want to do it themselves, this is a 50 to 80 mil reducer. So what it does is pushes in the end of the fitting on the duct. That hose size now is perfect for, well, that adapter size is perfect. If I push that, it actually goes into that duct quite snug. So I'll push that into there. I'll permanently fix it into this end here. I've done this one already. You can see I've got some black silicone sealing it off in there. So this is the one that goes in that main duct in the middle there, and it sort of turns down. Actually, it goes this way. It goes in that duct and it turns that way, and it goes to that hose once it's tucked inside. And this one goes to this hose once it's tucked inside there, this way. And all you see is the front of this hanging out of that hole when the dash pad's on. So yeah, then it's, the only reason it's black is because I painted it black with like the black interior vinyl paint. Just so when you see it internally in there, you don't see a white fitting. I painted it internally and externally black, so it doesn't stand out. It looks like it's supposed to be on there. And you don't need to go and fork out, I don't know what they charge you for adapters for this air conditioning, but I couldn't find any anyway. Not to suit the car and to suit those hoses, but that is perfect fit. It's really snug. I'll show you. It's really snug fit inside that flange there. And that hose is a perfect fit inside that there. So if I squeeze it in there, like that, you can see it's a perfect fit. That's without sealing it permanently into place. So yeah, that's a bit of a trick for you. Something you can utilize. Yeah, all right, that's pretty much it for today then. I just wanted to sort of give you an update on the air conditioning and some of the pitfalls and tricks you've got to look out for, in case you're wondering why there's no actual stereo in there. I'm not putting a stereo in this car. It's getting a blanking plate in it, so I don't know if you like that look or not, but if you've got a car that's going to have a nice sound to its exhaust system, you probably don't want to listen to a stereo all the time. You want to listen to the car. So pretty much everything's happening now. Inside the car is pretty much sewn up. Next job I got to conquer is I have this Thermofan controller. So I'll show you what it is on the box. It's a Davies Craig fan switch. Suits thermofans, water pumps, all that sort of stuff. So what it has is the high and low fan relays built into it. It has a little digital readout down here to tell you what the temperature of the engine actually is. This model comes with two temperature sensors. So you can see this says temperature sensor on this tag here. This one just pushes into the radiator grills, but it comes with a secondary one, and the secondary one is so if something fails on that one, it's also monitoring engine temperature. So that fitting there, I'm going to have to take that plug out of there. This is my normal temperature gauge fitting. I have to get this one and screw in the front there. The only problem is the engine's full of coolant, so it's going to make a bloody mess. But yeah, so that'll be monitoring engine temperature from the front. I'm going to mount that controller down here somewhere in the back. I'm not sure exactly where yet. Somewhere near that ground. Somewhere tied in out of the way. I can't go this side because this side I have my air conditioning fittings down there for bleeding the air conditioning. I have the electric power steering pump down there. I've got a ground and an active to hook up directly to the battery. And then this little trigger wire here, you run a cable across and you go to the active terminal on the back of the battery. So on the back of the alternator. So the reason they do that is that trigger to start that pump up, it won't start up on 12 volts, but once that alternator starts pumping out 13 or more volts, it will trigger that electric power steering pump to turn on. So then again, if your battery's low, you lose power steering. Like any car, you throw a belt, you lose power steering. But on this one, we opted for that. It's a Mercedes-Benz power steering setup. Once I get that working, I'll show you how we mounted it. I'll show you how it's running and how it works. I just got to get the steering wheel sorted. Once the steering wheel's on, I'm just waiting for the horn button slip ring to turn up. Once that's connected up, I'll show you how we're going with that too. So dash pad is getting made. It's probably about another 3 weeks away. Glass is going to get ordered this week for front and back glass. So we're getting pretty close. All the side glasses in. Like I said, we've still got to take these door trims off and get these little tags in there. Bit stupid forgetting to do that, but anyway, just a little mistake. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber already, hit the subscribe button. Hit the notifications button. You'll get notified anytime a new video's up. Like I mentioned, I try to put out 2 a week. It's been a pretty difficult couple of weeks for me to do anything on the car. Wife's been crook, and I get probably an hour or two every night to come out here and work on the car when everyone's sort of asleep and everyone's in bed. So she's tucked away in bed, so are the kids. So yeah, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Hit the notifications button, share it around with your mates. If you've got someone that you know that's going to install vintage air conditioning in their car, it'll be a very similar system if you're hooking up to a Commodore, to any of these H models in Kingswoods or Monaros, Tiranas, all the same. They've all got a very similar size control panel down there. Yeah, anyway, that's where we're up to. Next time I do a bit more, which will probably be next week now, I'll put another one up. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later.